Maybe today is the right time to let yourself go away from all the shadows of him or her, even though it will be very difficult to do because parts of you have been united in him for so long and don't know when that love will fade away by itself. But when that togetherness only makes you shackled and even often feels alone, you have the rights to determine your own destiny towards a more certain future. When you surrender yourself only to the presence of God, He will put everything in your hands today: your health, your security, your family, your home, freeing you from fear, worry, and all your feelings. And when you entrust everything only to Him, surely He will lighten all the burdens that weigh on your shoulders and make all your affairs easier, because He is the most grateful, who will never get tired and weary in taking care of every need of His creatures. The sage once said, "Never force your will on someone to stay close to you in your daily life, because the person who is true and loves you with all sincerity, he will never leave you to drown in silence and choke in quiet. So free your heart from all feelings of sadness in the loneliness that is so tense. Make sure in your heart that you are never alone, because God is always with you. He is never far from your soul and mind." I would love to walk in the pouring rain, because no one will ever know when tears flow quickly from my eyes. I would love to walk in the middle of the wilderness, with the hustle and bustle of animals and the rustling of leaves blown by the wind, because no one will hear the screams of sorrow that come from my lips. Let pain be just my pain, wounds as my wounds, sadness is my sadness, while I will only let others know that I am just okay. When your days pass and continue to roll, but you never use it to think about creating a work that is useful for yourself or others, you are nothing more than wasting your life in vain. You will never be able to enjoy the beauty of the rainbow in the cluster of clouds if you always direct your gaze only below. So lift your head hard, take a deep breath to prove to the world that your presence on earth is not for nothing. There's nothing that will continue to survive without knowing the limits of time in mortal life. Likewise, with every sorrow and disaster that often mars your days, the failure and destruction of life that you have experienced so far is not something that is very sad. You just need to deceive your own feelings that everything is just mediocre, that actually there is nothing. So, must be the determination and courage to move on to a new chapter, new spirit, and new thoughts to escape the shackles of the past, and never stop before your footprints reach the destination. When various failures and misfortune hit one after another, most people are just busy looking for scapegoats for everything that happens to them, without wanting to introspect to try to improve themselves. In fact, every bad thing happens to each person only because if someone wants too much, but it is not balanced with the efforts made to make it happen, he is only swayed by soaring fantasies that make him drunk in his own dreams. So, ask your heart, what have you done so far? Every pain from the many wounds you feel, it makes you depressed and very tortured with all the suffering you endured today. Believe that all of it will be a sweet memory, even as a funny story, when you tell it one day, when you have escaped and succeeded in stepping on a better level in the future, where you will only understand that the path of life is not a fate of death that cannot be negotiated, but a choice that you must take bravely. And when that happens, you will understand that life is just a game, nothing more. A person's true nature will be clearly seen only when he is in a drunken condition, whether it is drunk on drink or drunk on power, where common sense that should be will be hampered by the pleasure of entering a momentary situation that will only trap him in his own dilemma, until the basic instinct of a person's innate talent since birth work beyond his control. So, the wise will always be self-aware so as not to act recklessly, avoiding himself from all behavior that will only trick him into the abyss of distraction in disgrace. To really be able to love freely, a person must first get used to the pain that grieves himself, until he no longer feels pain as a pain. Familiar with all the sorrows, he made a friend of his life. Make peace with all the circumstances that were very suffocating at first, to be as usual things in the end. Because life is just about feelings. When you are able to calm your feelings, your life will calm down by itself and vice versa. So, a superior person is someone who has succeeded in subduing him until he has finished with himself. Greetings.